Hey guys, and I'm Terry, and that's Nick, and we are ready to break down some NHL playoffs. Finally, the playoffs are going to begin tomorrow. Me and Nick are both super excited. Both of our teams in the playoffs, so that's always fun. But we are going to go series by series and give our thoughts on reasons why both teams can win, and then who we think will be victorious. Maybe different prop bets as well, whatever we have in store. But this is the first matchup: Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. And Nick, I'll let you go first, and I'll give you the tough one. Why can why can why can Florida or how can Florida win this series? How can the Florida Panthers win?
Uh, Simple. A couple things heading into the series we got to keep an eye out for. Linus Olmark missed the last game. He was taken out of one of the last games with an injury, so we have to monitor whether or not Olmark will be playing. If it is Swayman, I see really no problem with that though. Uh, and on the other side, and for the Panthers here, one thing we got to think about is unlike last season where they were the President's Trophy winners. By the way, we have back to back the two previous President's Trophy winners in a first round matchup, which I think is a cool thing here. It's pretty simple. Matthew Tkachuk can will them through this series along with Alexander Barkov and Brandon Montour. And Alex Lyon looked pretty good at the end of the regular season. So I'm not saying it's an impossible task here. I think the series may be closer than people expect. Am I going to be betting the Florida Panthers to win the series? No. But would I be surprised if we see an appearance from the Boston Bruins similar to what we saw from Tampa Bay in 2019? Not saying they're going to get swept, but would I be surprised if they get bounced in this round? No, this Florida Panthers team is playing with no pressure whatsoever because they just got into the playoffs. And this is a team that definitely looked a lot different without Huberdeau and Uyghur this season. And they're very inconsistent. But if we get a top end Florida team, like they were playing really well down the stretch of the season, they can have a fighting chance in this. So I'm not going to count the Florida Panthers completely out. Do I think the Boston Bruins advance? Yeah, but I see a possibility where Florida wins this series.
All right. Yeah, for me, you brought it up. The questions with Allmark. I think that could be a reason why Florida could win. The President's Trophy curse. It's there. It's happened. That could help the Panthers, and not having pressure. Well, there's definitely pressure on them. Obviously, they're facing the team that has the best record in NHL history.
Yes,
So but that could motivate Florida. I think, just like you said, them not being the President's Trophy winners this time around, I think that helps them. And that would be how they would win the series, which I think would be an upset. I
absolutely.
think 99.9% of people, except certain people in Florida, will be on the Boston Bruins. But hey, if Florida's going to have a chance, they're going to need things to go right. Um, how can the Boston Bruins win? I'll go first with this one. Um, Play like they have all season long. Just act like this is a game that you played all season long, and just play Bruins hockey. If they do that, I think they have a good shot to win. They're just overall up and down the lineup. They're just a stacked team. They play so well together. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. They just play their regular season hockey. And obviously, with the playoff um, atmosphere, and Boston can win the series. Nick, how can Boston win?
Be the Boston Bruins. This is a team. Obviously, they won as many games as they did for a reason this year. No, this is not going to be a cakewalk. And yes, I 100% agree with Turnsey here. If it's going to be no, it's not going to be a cakewalk. This series may go 6-7 games because everyone thinks this is Boston in 4, Boston in 5. I don't think so. And we'll get into that in the series predictions here coming up in a minute. But yeah, Boston just continue doing what they've been doing all season long. Get good goaltending from Olmark and Swayman. Play good, and they got the depth. And this is a good spot here for the Bruins. I mean, this is the best team we've seen them have in a very long time. So absolutely, just continue playing the way they have all season long.
All right. Turnsey thinks it's going to go more than 5.
I agree with that, and I think a lot of people will agree with that after Florida wins Game 1. So
Well, there we go. And that leads us to series predictions. What are our predictions for this series? And um, I think Richie's kind of spot on there. I think Boston wins this series in five, maybe six games. I'm not saying Boston. A lot of people think Boston pretty much they're in the cup already. Their Stanley Cup ticket is clinched and they're already there. I don't believe that. But I believe that they're going to do well in this series, in this first round series. It's going to be in the second or third rounds that I think we see an upset, possibly. But I think they win this series in five or six games, and uh, they're just a really strong team. And I think they get the job done here. Question marks with Florida in net as well. Um, Even if it is Swayman, I think he's a better option than
Yeah.
either of Florida's goalies. So I think Boston in five or six games. Nick?
Yeah, I think my favorite play for this series. I didn't bet any series props for this one. I've only bet 4 series so far. This is not one of them. Obviously, the price, I'm not laying 355 on Boston. That's just pretty plain and simple. I don't lay that type of juice. I know you don't lay that type of juice. I would look towards maybe laying $1.40 on over 5.5 games. I think this game. I think this series can go 6. So I would lean towards over 5.5 games in this one. I think Florida may steal a couple, including game one. I really like them game one. So yeah. So for me, over 5.5 games for me.
All right. Stop Geo disagrees a little bit with you there. Boston Reg minus 130 in game one. And I'll be honest, I have not capped any of the games tomorrow. That is what I'm doing as soon as we are done with our series prediction videos. So that is it. That is the Florida and Boston series. Stay tuned because in a minute or two, when we're ready, we'll be right up for the next one. But if you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new to either channel, hit the subscribe button and give us your thoughts in the comments. Who wins this series? How many games is it going to take? And whatever else you like in this series, feel free to leave a comment. But best of luck, guys, and we'll see you in a few minutes with the next show.